If you look at some of the research out of Yale University in the 40s, some really elegant researchers, they came across the understanding that most people think that it's matter that emits a field. But in actuality, it's the field that creates matter. In other words, they started studying and understanding that certain rodents with certain propensities for certain cancers had a very specific electromagnetic signature in their field. And every single rodent that had that signature in their field had the type of uterine cancer. But there were certain rodents that had the signature in the field that didn't develop the cancer yet, but they ultimately developed the cancer. So it wasn't matter that emits a field, it's the field that creates matter. So the question is, if you can change the field, can you change matter? And so we give them the science and the understanding behind that, and then they raise their energy. They have to be in the state where they open their heart, because this is the center in which we give, and that center has to be activated, and it has to be coherent, and they have to be trained on how to do that. They have to be able to connect to that field of information, and then they have to get beyond themselves. And when they start creating very coherent energetic signatures by placing their hands in the field of the person laying there, they begin to produce very organized, more holistic patterns that begin to disorganize or create an unraveling of matter, and then you see this reorganization of matter go on. And I'm saying within minutes. So I've seen bodies shake uncontrollably. I've seen people arch their back where there's nothing touching the ground but the back of their head and their heels. This is energy. This is a very profound energy. I've seen people feel more love than they've ever felt in their entire life, and that's information that's being overlaid into the field. And so the more they are connected to that field, the faster amount of time it happens. So we're getting good at it. I don't even claim to know everything, but I'm interested in closing the gap between knowledge and experience. And I don't think if we wait for science to tell us it's okay to do this, we make it another religion, right? But if we go out and do it, and we record it, then science has to change their laws to meet up with what's possible. And so I'm surprised more than a lot of people many times, because it just it shakes the present paradigm of my own personal conditioning, that of what I'm witnessing is happening. And these people are not monks, they're not priests, they're not holy people, they're not academics, they're common people, and that's the importance of all this. And this kind of healing, by the way, has been going on for thousands of years. There was herbs, there was ritual, and there was laying on of hands and energetic healing that was just part of what people did in many cultures. Treating it matter to matter, chemistry to chemistry, does work. It just takes time. So, but if you're starting to see these effects happening in no time, it's happening outside of time, like instantaneously, then that's a quantum phenomenon. So that's energy changing matter. Otherwise, if it's happening in no time, that's happening faster than the speed of light. So that's the realm of the quantum. So then, how much of people's day do they put on matter, their attention on matter? I would say for most people 100% of the time.
Very close to it.
If you got a group of people that yet they're taking all of their attention off of everything material and physical. And you can explain this invisible field of energy and information that exists beyond this space and time. There's no people there, there's no things there, there's no objects, there's no places, there's no planets, there's no light from the stars, there's no stars. It's an invisible field of nothing. But just because you can't see something doesn't mean it doesn't exist. So then you can only experience that realm with your awareness. And when you become pure consciousness, you leave this three-dimensional reality behind. Now you can execute greater effects on the nature of reality, on the material world. So in other words then, in order for you to heal your body, you got to get beyond your body. In order for you to change something in your outer environment, you got to get beyond the memory and the emotions that keep you connected to the problem that exists in your outer world. And so then people start to figure this out, and you're having them every day paying attention to this field, keeping their awareness on it, staying present with it, becoming more aware of it, feeling it, moment after moment after moment, every single time they have an experience or they feel something. Experience lays down circuitry in their brain. So now they're laying down the hardware for them to experience that field even more the next time. And plasticity works where you have to stretch beyond the known. You have to stretch outside your comfort zone. So then as they start to interact with that field, with their awareness, not with their bodies, but with their awareness, the brain's tracking it neurologically. And so now they're putting the circuits in place for them to stay connected to the field. And then the side effect of that is they start producing greater effects on their life, because now they understand now what they're doing and why they're doing it. So we've seen all kinds of amazing things go on in these coherence healings, and I want to get better at it. I want our community to get really skilled at it, and they can work themselves up into this state. You can ask people that come to these events. The energy in the room is off the chart, and people, we're wired to give, you know. We're the happiest when we're taking care of one another, and that's what community is about. So we're starting to see this genuine, energetic thing that's happening where people are just popping, they're just healing. And it's exciting to me because, as I said, I'm waking up in my dream. I mean, this is my dream, and it's happening, and so many other people are waking up in that dream, and we're giving people hope. Because even the most angry, unhappy, selfish person that's suffering because of some health condition, when they finally surrender, I've seen it happen. I've seen those people have a very significant change in a condition or a disease that medical science had no solution for. So how do you explain that, first of all? And second of all, if it's happening in real time to one person, or it's happening repeatedly, there's got to be some scientific model, because anything that's repeatable is science. You start looking at those people and you start realizing that, wow, all the things that you thought that you were feeling sorry for yourself about, you can't. You just can't. So there's a 4-minute mile that's being broken in our community. We're piercing a veil. And that veil is so important because it's happening, once we pierce it, it's in consciousness, it's in the field, which means it's more readily accessible. Great. But also, if you're witnessing it, miracles that you see that are so incredible. When you witness it and you're talking to the person next to you about it, now it's in the consciousness of three-dimensional reality.
So to change then is to be greater than that environment. So then you would have to reprogram the way you'd think and the way you'd feel to no longer return back to the same state of being. Now that's the mastery, because it isn't just having a great meditation and then getting on the freeway and flipping everybody off or judging your coworker.
Right.
You just return back to the old self. You got to be able to maintain that modified state of mind and body your entire day. And if you can, get ready, because weird things are going to happen in your life. So the person who's starting to try it out in a curious way, like, let's just do the experiment. Let's just see if I change my energy, I change the way I think I feel, is there going to be some effect in my life? When they start seeing that, they're no longer like, oh, I got to go create my life today. They're actually excited to do it because they don't want the magic to end. They want to keep it going. Now, that's when it gets kind of cool, because this is when you start believing in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, you believe in possibilities, right? When you believe in possibilities, you got to believe in yourself. When you stop believing in possibilities, you can't believe in yourself. So people are waking up and going, wow, it doesn't matter your skin color, it doesn't matter how rich you are, it doesn't matter how healthy you are, it doesn't matter how young you are, how old you are, how in shape, out of shape, not even if you've ever meditated before. It doesn't even matter. It's a formula. And you don't need 40 years of dedication to meditation to get it. You just got to understand the formula. And like playing ping pong or hitting a golf ball or dancing the salsa, you're going to figure it out sooner or later, and it's going to get easier and it's going to get fun. That's what we want for people. I assert that if you're not in the present moment, you're running a program, right? And paying attention is being present. And it's a skill just like anything else. The more you practice it, the better you get at it. And you know when someone's present with you in your life because they're paying attention to you. And you know when they're not present with you because they're not paying attention to you. So, where you place your attention is where you place your energy. So if you have all of your attention in the present moment, you're conserving a lot of energy to create with. If I'm talking to you and you're thinking about where you're going to go for lunch and who you're going to go with and how you're going to get there, and I'm talking to you, you left the present moment and your attention went to some future. And your energy will go down and you won't be able to comprehend what I said. If you start thinking about what you should have said at the staff meeting 3 days ago, and I'm talking to you and your mind is back in the past, you're siphoning energy out of the present moment into the past. So people are constantly siphoning their energy into a familiar past or a predictable future because that's where their attention is. And the stronger the emotions that we feel to certain problems and conditions in our life, the more we pay attention to them. So we give our power away to our ex. We give our power away to that big problem. And that's creative energy that we should be able to use to create a new future. So then when a person's sitting in a meditation and they're doing absolutely nothing, and it's 8 o'clock in the morning, and their body for the last 10 years has been going in traffic and getting angry and frustrated in traffic, and now they're sitting in a meditation at 8 o'clock in the morning, the body's going to say, hey, you're off schedule. I'm used to suffering and getting angry here. Yeah. So the body's going to start looking for that emotion, and it's going to start influencing the mind, and you're going to start getting images and memories just so you could feel that emotion. Like now the person's back in the past, but if they become aware that they're siphoning energy out of the present moment into the past, and they settle the body back down into the present moment, that's a victory. And those victories add up. And you're telling the body in that moment that it's no longer the mind, that you're the mind, and that's a victory. And then people get frustrated and they say, I can't meditate. Oh, really? Well, actually, you're doing it right. That's actually what meditate. You're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing. And then all of a sudden the body says, well, it's 8:15 now. This is when you normally, go get something to eat and you have your coffee and your body's starting to want to get up and do something. You become aware that your body wants to get up and move and you're in the meditation. And you tell your body, You bring it back to the present moment and you settle it back down. You are training the animal. That's a victory. Now you're executing a will that's greater than the program, because most people lose their free will to a program. Now you're telling the body, I'll tell you when we get up, not when you want to get up. You're not the mind, I'm the mind. And that's a victory. Now, we've done the research on this. If you keep doing this and you stay with it, sooner or later, the body's going to surrender to a new mind. And when that happens, Sean, there's a liberation of energy. The body is freed from those habituations and those emotions. The body's going from particle to wave, from matter to energy. And all of a sudden, you're dialing down the anger. You're dialing down the vigilance. And the body now is being conditioned to a new mind. That is the present moment. And when you're in that present moment, something really amazing happens. You forget about you. All of a sudden, you're not your face, you're not your culture, you're not your marital status, you're not your diet, you're not your past. You're basically just an awareness. You're in the unknown. And that is the perfect place to create from. So it turns out that when people do this properly, they heal themselves of anxiety. Why? Because they're no longer obsessing about some future. When they find the present moment, they heal from their depression because they're not a bit hopeless and powerless in their past. The body's conditioned now.
I hope you enjoyed this amazing speech by Joe Dispenza and you will apply the knowledge given here to make great changes in your life. We are continuing with our daily practice of completing the inspiring quotes. In the previous video we were looking for 2 words of Joe Dispenza's quote. The quote goes like this: to be empowered, to be free, to be unlimited, to be creative, to be genius, to be divine, that is who? The correct answer is you are. So, to be empowered, to be free, to be unlimited, to be creative, to be genius, to be divine, that is who you are. Congratulations to everyone with the correct answer. This one wasn't so easy, but since I know you love Dr. Joe Dispenza, today's quote is also from Joe Dispenza. We are looking for 2 words. The quote goes like this: most people wait for crisis or trauma before they make their mind to change. My message is, write your answers in the comments below the video and tell me if you love this video. If you like this video, give your thumbs up and share it with your friends. Even if you're not sure what the correct answer is, try and guess. The first one with the correct answer is the winner. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button and don't miss any of the new videos and new challenges. If you found this video helpful, share it with your friends. Help me make it more popular. If you really like what we do here and want to support us, you can join our channel and our community for a symbolic fee and gain many other additional features. You can do that by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button. Or you can click on the link in the description of this video. Stay good and have a great day.